A warning: if there are children in the room, the content here may be disturbing.
Q is a person, but we don't know who it is. We just know it's someone with super high Q-level security clearance, so he knows all the shit that goes on in the deep state. Namely, that our government is riddled with a rogue criminal element that is interested in evil in general, but their specialty is pedophilia.
People who believe in the QAnon conspiracy theory.
Are so broad and often
It is also
bizarre.
shockingly widespread.
It's like an alternative reality game.
He made a cryptic statement to reporters in early October where he talked about the coming storm, a statement that he then refused to explain. The phrase "the storm" has come to be super important to people who believe or circulate these posts, where the storm refers to this kind of coming mass justice against all of Trump's enemies.
I personally believe that much of what we are taught and told by authorities or institutions in this country is false information.
Sort of the gist of it is that Trump has teamed up with the military and sort of various virtuous world leaders, including Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un, to take on this global cabal of Democrats and Hollywood elites and bankers and all this kind of stuff, who they claim are essentially responsible for all the evil in the world. And soon Trump will have all these people arrested.
It began in October. A person or group of people claiming to have top secret government clearance began posting on message boards, leaving so-called breadcrumbs, clues to a vast conspiracy involving the deep state, a global ring of pedophiles, and more.
Falsely claim that the world is run by a satanic cabal of elites led by Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and the deep state, and that Donald Trump, with the help from secret allies, including special counsel Robert Mueller, will expose and defeat this deep state.
So the theory is that Trump is our savior. That everything we know about him is at least somewhat wrong, if not completely wrong, that he has appointed Mueller not to investigate Russian interference in the election, but instead a satanic cult.
The only thing that would make more sense would be finding out that a Trump-loathing conservative baiter like me is Q.
So does this have anything to do with the Pizzagate folks, that people believed, you know, there are people, Democrats or Hillary Clinton or others, running a pedophile ring in a pizza parlor basement?
Absolutely. QAnon is, in a way, sort of like a more respectable mega Pizzagate. A key part of QAnon is this idea that Trump is, he's not just fighting against the deep state to the extent of like the intelligence agencies or the Clintons. He's fighting against what they believe to be global pedophile networks amongst the elites all over the world.
They are the fake, disgusting news.
This next segment is brought to you by the letter Q, specifically QAnon. What is QAnon? Well, it went mainstream during the so-called Pizzagate affair, which led one man to walk into a pizzeria in Washington, D.C. with an assault rifle because conspiracy theorists claim that Hillary Clinton and John Podesta ran a child sex ring in the basement.
This is a militant group. Like, there's been 2 murders tied to this group this year alone. One happened a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you saw it. Like, somebody killed a mob boss, and he held up his hand and said Q on it.
Yeah.
In court.
Here in New York City.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody also tried to burn down Comet Pizza a couple weeks ago, and an hour before he did it. An hour and 10 minutes. Yep. An hour and 10 minutes.
Same pizza place as the guy that walked in with the gun.
Because, by the way, Pizzagate is part of QAnon. Every conspiracy theory from the right is part of QAnon.
I like real news, not fake news. You're fake news.
Write this off at your own risk, by the way. Like, 2 months ago, a guy murdered his brother because he was on QAnon forums saying he'd take out the Illuminati. So he killed his brother with a sword. It was a thing that happened. Last month, a guy tried to burn down Comet Pizza because Pizzagate is the underlying part of QAnon. And he posted a QAnon video to his parents' account on YouTube right before he did it, an hour before he did it. But we don't know at the end of the day, like, exactly who they are. We know who's pushing it from the start.
I wonder how much money is actually being made on all of this.
But no one has just out and said, this is crazy, this is insanity, please don't follow this thing. And they rely on that. They rely on that sort of wink and nod. They rely on little clues. Like, it's numerology. It's not real winks and nods, but that's what they intuit.
The crazy attempt by the Democrat Party and the fake news media right back there and the deep state, and perpetuated the single greatest hoax in the history of politics in our country.
I am Q.
A conspiracy group whose theories make alien invader claims sound mainstream just showed it has more selling power than anyone may have guessed. QAnon's book, An Invitation to the Great Awakening, shot to #1 on Amazon's list of bestsellers in the category of censorship and politics. On one page, the book, this is from your writing, on one page, the book baselessly claims that the government created AIDS, polio, Lyme disease, some natural disasters, 2 Indiana Jones movies, and the Pixar movie Monsters, Inc.
YouTube has done some work into fixing this. Facebook has too. Now Amazon is the next frontier for them because they realize they can find an audience in these spaces. This is written by like a dozen people in this movement who are all effectively anonymous, but they know how to game these systems to make it so these vulnerable people all throughout the country who are susceptible to this kind of talk, this garbage, and they feed it directly to them.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out. But give us a hint on your Iran decision.
Thank you, everybody.
So why would Donald Trump be attacking the Mueller investigation?
That's all part of the, that's all
cover.
part of the ruse.
I see.
It's incumbent upon anybody who feels that an informed citizenry matters to actually tell their fellow citizens, no, QAnon is false, QAnon is not real, and then point them to evidence showing why.
I think perhaps it's maybe just a troll or a couple trolls in a basement somewhere, and this whole thing's gotten out of hand.
Oh, okay.
YouTube, Q's plan to save the world.
What's Q stand for?
We don't exactly know who Q is, okay? Q is not one person, okay? Q is a bunch of people. They're on the inside. They're the good guys, and they know the real story, what's going on, and it's all about ending the deep state.
What's your name?
I'm just an anon. Have a good day.
Donald Trump was picked by military leaders to run for president as a way to kind of bring down the deep state. And it involves the whole Space Force, possible alien life, like pedophiles, and it seeks to tie all of that together. And I feel like, I know we've discussed it a lot of times and we're like, I'm not really sure I believe that part of it, but yet I don't think he's lying to us, whoever he is.
I am 100% behind Q. He's working for the president, he's working for our country. There's things that have been going on since the assassination of JFK. Terrible things. It's not a conspiracy, it's fact.
Your shirt says the storm is here, QAnon. What does that mean to you?
Well, I've been following all the posts since October 28th.
On the internet, from QAnon.
Right, started on 4chan.
The person or people who say they're Q.
Right.
What do you think Q is, by the way?
It's an entity of 10 or less people that have
involved with the government?
High clearance, security clearance.
And how do you know that?
Well, I'm just telling you, this is what it appears to be.
What it appears to be. So you don't have any proof of that. That's what you're guessing it is.
And you don't have any proof there isn't.
So why would Donald Trump be attacking the Mueller investigation?
That's all part of the, that's all
cover.
part of the ruse.
I see.
The vast majority of Americans, including the vast majority of Republicans, including the vast majority of Trump supporters, do not believe in or subscribe to the QAnon conspiracy theory.
I think perhaps it's maybe just a troll or a couple trolls in a basement somewhere, and this whole thing's gotten out of hand.
QAnon is the people that believe in what Trump's trying to do to change our country.
Or you're holding a big red, white, and blue Q. Why do you have that?
It's a movement, man. It's the shift. I can feel it coming. Some call it the Great Awakening.
You guys are.
So you don't believe in the First Amendment?
Oh, I totally believe in the First
Well, you
Amendment.
don't. You just said the press is
Well,
the
you
enemy.
guys are weaponized. You guys are totally weaponized by the CIA.
What is that?
You guys are weaponized
by the CIA.
by the CIA.
I don't know anybody in the CIA except a couple of people I've interviewed over the years.
Fair. Okay.
But weaponized, what does that even mean? Like you say stuff that doesn't even mean anything.
The term
Weaponized by the CIA.
Conspiracy theorists. The term.
Do you think I'm weaponized by the CIA?
Maybe not to your knowledge. That's unfortunate.
Is it possible you're believing bogus information? Yes or no?
Is it possible that I'm believing bogus information?
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. Let's see, Q. Let's see.
You believe there is a deep state.
Yes.
And what do you think that deep state's doing? You think they're running this country?
I think they were, and they're petrified now.
Right.
Because they're losing their control.
But Donald Trump's the president. He's running the country, right?
Yeah, but he's having to fight against the
I mean,
deep
he
state.
said he could do it all himself. Everything would be so easy when he came into office. And you think he's fighting with the deep state a year and a half into his term?
I think he's been fighting since before he was elected.
And who is in this deep state? Who are the people in it?
Oh, I definitely believe that, like, the Clintons, the Bushes, the Obamas.
So you think the Clintons, the Bushes, and the Obamas are running this country as we stand here in the rain?
No, they're trying.
You're wearing a shirt that says Q, WWG, 1WGA. What does that mean?
It means where we go one, we go all. We've all been gathering online and talking together as Americans and uniting. And
Do you think it's maybe just it makes you comfortable talking with other frustrated, sometimes angry people?
Yes.
But maybe it's not true because there's no evidence of it. It's just stuff being talked about on the internet, right?
There hasn't been any non-evidence yet.
You heard the lady. There's no non-evidence.